it's a very good quality one. That's odd. Maybe it's a aging connector. Anyway, who is here? Sidak Mike, Rifleman, Scruff Dog's here. Greetings, Scruff Dog, Nuts and Proud, the Chipmunk, the Elm Monk. Craig Matthews is here. Gabor Commentallo, Echo the Husky, Frost Giant's here. Kevin Hardesty, Mr. Margee, Echo the Husky, that's Echo the Husky, Chris Wenham, Kevin Hardesty, Grim Shaw, and all the regulars are here. Greetings, it's good to be back. It feels so good to have finished that job and suddenly it's like calm again because the loadout of that job was really quite intense. 3 days it takes us to get that out. I will say a very relaxed 3 days. The first day we got all the stuff out of the castle. For those who don't know, I've been working the Royal Edinburgh Military to all the lighting and the power distribution for lighting and to a degree sound is done by us. And it takes 1 day to get the castle out. And then we start de-rigging the Esplanade level as well. And then the next day I took out all the lights on the north side of the gantry, but then we ran out of cases because there's a bit of a case thing going on. More lights than cases because they're universal cases. Get an echo. An echo? There shouldn't be an echo. Try refreshing. I don't think there should be an echo. So day 2, yeah, getting all those out and then finishing at a comfortable time. First truck arrives and we take all the cases out, which is an unusual thing to happen. Load all the, well, fill the truck up. And then the next day was just basically finishing everything off, do the South Gantry, and then while the others are taking lights down from other positions, and Vince, the crew chief, was just taking all the cables out from under the floor because we've got floor panels. And then 2 trucks. Stuff the trucks, head for a very nice meal, and then that was it. Head our separate ways. Did you remove, says the Chipmunk, the BigClive.com logo from the desk at your student digs? Yes, I did. It came off leaving no marks. More lights and cases sounds like the same physics phenomenon that leaves you with leftover screws after disassembly, reassembly. Indeed, Chris Wenham. Greetings, Horovac. We came to see the show last week and really enjoyed it, says Robert Oxlade. That's good to know. Glad you enjoyed it. Was there any particular bit you liked or disliked? Did you see any of our lighting glitching and going wrong? I don't think we did. Ironically, I recorded a little section of video, which immediately a copyright strike. Copyright warning is a better way to put that. And during it, you can see one of our lights, I think it's from Esplanade level, which somehow has ended pointing up the way into the audience, which isn't right. I wonder what happened there. Not sure what it was. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. I wonder if something got actually just knocked over or while the audience was messing around with things. The audience just can't leave things alone. Really, we should go and double check after we've had a audience egress and load-in. Our tumble jar was like that, took it apart, put screws back in, even where there were no screws before, and still had about 30 left over. Chipmunk. That's what it's like. Did you sneak a light or 2 away for examination? No, owing to the fact they weigh approximately 50 kilograms, which is quite a lot of weight. And they're all hermetically sealed to a degree. Clive, BBC Click showed the sound and lasers, but not the lighting. No flash enough for them. Indeed, Jerry BVR. There's a good chance Vince told them not to film us because he tends to do things like that. He's quite strict. The view from the gantry was nice, an audience. Any audience try to climb up there, they have in the past, Christian and Harold, and immediately get escorted down. Or I'll shout at them if I see anybody trying to creep their way up, and it's happened in the past. I'll be quite vocal. Don't get the fuck off my gantry right now, sort of thing like that, because I do not like people up my lighting gantry because they mess with stuff that can cause problems. Are we your audience tonight? Can we leave things alone? You can just mess with things as much as you want. Have you had a couple of days kip yet? Last night was the first time in an actual full-size bed, not a single bed. The single bed is too small for me. Well, you can't blame the view is nice. It is indeed, Christian. Just wire the rail to the mains. That wouldn't work too well because it's all very heavily grounded for lightning reasons. Chazman, Echo was accident log into my work ID in another window. Ah, right, okay. Yes. I only have a single bed, says Echo the Husky. That's a bit too tight for me. Having said that, are you big, Echo? Because I'm quite broad-shouldered, and I had to physically, because I turn over in the night, I had to wake up, physically turn over, shuffle so I was just about to drop off one side of the bed just so I could lay my arms on it without them dangling over the edge. Not big. Window view again, it's too dark. It's just darkness out there. That dungeon was scary. No way you'd get me in there alone, Jerry BVR. It used to be a bit squirmy because there have been noises. Even us techie friends, we're getting your Gantries, Craig Matthews. Maybe in the future I'll give a backstage tour for technical people. That would be quite interesting. Any funny pranks amongst the crew this year? All the time, Dylan Piccion's. One was featured, and it was the converting one of the rooms into a lounge, which got us in trouble because the merch department were wanting more space and let themselves into our electrical cabin, and then complained about the fact we were wasting space that they could have filled with merch, or they could just arrange the storage of it better and just ship up what they need per day. But anyway, we had to put a sign on the door saying, no, electrical staff only, don't enter this area, because we don't want stuff stacked up against our electrical equipment. They don't get that. It happens. I'll scroll down now, just clearly. No merch in here, absolutely not. Emmett H, my computer speakers have been humming for about 2 years now. There was crackling from the right speaker. Safe to say it's time for a tear down or maybe find something better. The humming is often failure of the capacitors and the power supply is the biggest cause of the humming from speakers after, unless, also try an audio isolator, an audio isolation transformer between your active speakers and the PC. If it's not grounded, if it's a grounded PC, fine, it shouldn't be a problem. Although current will flow either way because, often the little speakers have isolated supplies. And that same leakage that gives you a tingle of ungrounded cases to grounded cases actually causes noise in the cables. Maybe next year about to move much closer, it's more practical to get Edinburgh. Ah, Craig Matthews, I see. I know why BC looks so good. It's just a massive workout and get paid for it. That is it, Frost Giant. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily looking that good, but I will say by the time we got to the end of the job, despite far too many cookies and cake, I was able to climb the big, huge Lang stairs. I'll put a video about the Lang stairs because I made a video about them. They're long, long. Lang means long in Scottish, and they're very long stairs. Do you realize word you have to run Terminator every year? Luxotech. Northern Light used to use discrete cabling every year, but everything just plugs together now. The entertainment industry has loads and loads of TRS, tough rubber sheath cable, typically 2.5 millimeter, running between 16 amp C-form connectors. That's how everything is plugged together. And Succopex carries 6 circuits. Raymond Looney, I just recapped the Skybox the 3rd time. It's 15 years old now. That's it. Just keep it running. We have a problem at school at the moment that the speaker's humming, the laptop lid is closed and it goes to sleep, works fine when open on. I sometimes get that, Andy Rack, with my laptop as well, my Chromebook. When it goes to sleep, you get that hum. Did you make any new handsome friends this year or only usual men, Christian Hurd? I don't befriend anybody, I just admire from a distance. Rubber cables, not when they're 50 meters long. DC Allen, they're heavy. Particularly the super duper high current ones. Plug and play has become common, Rifleman. It is. Is TRS the same as high tough? Not sure, Craig Matthews. TRS is just tough rubber sheath. It's HHRF, I can never remember the name of it, 600 or whatever. I found my first disposable vape the other day. I think it was an accidental drop. It was still fully chargeable, power and liquid. Pink lemonade, nasty sweet smell. Where is my hoard here? There was my Edinburgh hoard rat and blue tape, so they didn't short together on the way home. That's my lithium cells. Lang is long in German as well. Aha, Horvath, that'll make translation easy. Scottish are very close to German in many ways. Tough rubber sheath sounds like a concept product of Ravenlooney. In the case of cables, that means they're very weather resistant and they're very abrasion resistant. They're just super flexible and super tough. It's the most common outdoor flexible cable. Oddly, the blue Arctic cable, Arctic, is not rated for outdoors use, bizarrely, even though it's a outdoor cable. Strange regulations. Chipmunk, high tough similar to German NYYJ, solid core and a tough PVC sheath, circular cross section. That's the stuff. I got my first 1,500 milliamp hour one a couple of days ago. I found a vape. I think it had been dropped by one of the military personnel because they've been using these. And this is odd because these are, if you look up Crystal Pro Max on eBay, you'll see there's lots of misleading information. They'll claim 4,500 puffs, but only 2 milliliters of liquid and only an 800 milliamp hour cell. They're hiding it, so it's higher. It's 1,400 milliamp hour, I think, in this. Probably not 4,500 puffs, but it's got a lot more liquid than is legally allowed. That's why they're all being very cryptic about it. They were selling these next to the barracks, apparently, where some of the cast were staying. 860 milliamp hour is very generous. I have seen a trend. A lot of the cells there were from Elf bars that they've gone from 500 milliamp hour cells down to 360 milliamp hour. They've copied the tobacco industry, who are always very ungenerous. So they're obviously going, oh, let's sell more. Let's make more profit. Solder iron temp going up and down, pain in the backside, Paul Norman. Is it a regulated solder iron? Because it may just be a failing element. Might be some military thing, not really a vape. Could well be. If Auld Lang Syne means old time's sake, where's the long bit? For the sake of Auld Lang Syne, what? For the sake of old long since. That's what it means, for the sake of old long since. It's just time, really, Ravenlooney. They didn't do that this year. Are those reusable? They are not. They're chuck them in the bin, except like you and me, we can reuse them if we wanted. I've not been using them much. I had given up completely, but unfortunately, one of my coworkers are just vaping all the time. There'll be a largest parcel for me waiting for you when we return to Man. What have you sent, Electron Box? Keep in mind I have a lack of space. Vapes and subscriptions soon, they already are DCL. You can sign up to subscriptions and they'll regularly post them. I just picked up a Elf bar with a 550 milliamp hour cell, but a tiny one with 90 milliamp cell in it, bastards. Some of the clones are basically just the fake stuff. A 90 milliamp hour is not just not going to last very long, but it's also not going to produce much current. It's just kind of like decorative, really. So got this from Poundland today. Ooh, decorative little table light. It's not bad. Runs in 2 AA's. I've already opened it. It has a ceramic thing. It's got a little plastic insert glued in that this screws into, but it screws into and then they solder onto connections, and then just the AA battery connecting straight to the parallel filaments, which also have parallel LEDs. So you've instantly got filaments. Quite bright, I have to say. Could make it solar power. My bro cleans some bars in Shrewsbury. I've told him of your vape reuse tips. He showed me a carrier bag full of them. Oh no. Too many vapes. My friend's a janitor at the local school just mentioned he has to pick up hundreds of used vapes all the time, so I told to keep them for me. That's reasonable enough for Ravenlooney. But there is a point you can have too many lithium cells. Is there a point you can have too many lithium cells? It's finding a thing to do with them. They are good quality. Graham Shaw, I would not buy a car that you had to subscribe to use features in your car. That's just because BMW are wankers, actually. It's a custom LED effect made. It's well packed. So that thing's only 20 by 20 centimeter. Is it a supercomputer thing? Electron box. I shall see when I get back. Chipmunk, the scariest I've seen is normal. Common use with a direct notches for a couple meter is, well, there's 2,400 volts, large motors, lift rooms, etc. Bloody scary that it looks normal. Is this cable? Or, I've never really seen high voltage motors and lifts, but we used to use them at Steelworks for even things like fans. The fans were so massively powerful that they had high voltage motors. The point isn't one shorts out and sets the rest on fire, Joe Russ. That is a thing. Just as long as you make sure they're all relatively safe-ish and print one of my lovely 3D printed bases that you can store all your cells in. And put them in a metal container, but not shorten them all out. Picked up a 1940s neon beehive bulb recently, 5 watt, beautifully made. Indeed, that's one with the spiral electrode inside. They look quite nice. Not super bright, not super efficient, but long lasting. Ah, it's a supercomputer thing with a twist electron box. Aha. A twist. Oh, the marine thrusters are high voltage. Anyway, we'll work out a way to hack it and potentially just hack the BMW stuff, because that's just unacceptable. Their greed knows no limits. I saw a 3.3 kV fan once, impressively big indeed. My flat had an EICR inspection, electrical insulation condition report inspection this morning, where they flip the breakers on and off and measure the ohms at each power socket. Is that one of the things they now give you 15 minutes of training for? Yes, that's the general electrical test. And it's to make sure they are in a ring and you're not teeing off everywhere. It's become very, very anal. The only test they should really have to do is test from one end of the ring to the other. The fact they're going around the sockets, measuring the voltage at midpoint of the ring, incredibly low resistances, is just getting a bit too anal. Yes, there is a risk that people are going to tee a spur, a radial off the ring, which isn't great, but the chance of having lots of multi-kilowatt heaters plugged into it is very slim. They're just basically regulating for worst case scenarios, which they make up. It's become very anal. It's become very red tape-ish. Hacking EV software makes several millionaires. Indeed, Pieman, it's already been done. Either hacking the software or bypassing it completely. Find the control lines and writing new software completely. Chipmunk, we never board those tests, Clive. We test end to end and that's it. Good. That's what I do. It's just people inventing jobs themselves. Craig Matthews, yeah, the cruise ships have a lot of power. And usually 11 kV distribution system, I think, is it? And all maintained by cheap labour. I'm sure the white border suit will protect them from high voltage arc flash. Now, there are two people, Horvath, that will drive a BMW. There will be the rich business people using it as a status symbol, and there will be the car geeks who do it because they like it, the novelty. It's an unusual brand in a way. And the car geeks are the ones who will just fix it themselves, as opposed to the rich people who usually can fix it themselves, and they will pay ongoing huge expense. 6.6 kV, I think. And there's a very interesting channel, I think a Japanese YouTuber, who explains shipside distribution. Oh, yes. Jake? Is it Jake the engineer? Not sure. There's also Captain McCoy. Is it Captain McCoy? Yeah, I think it is. He's very good. Is it McCoy? No, what is it? It's definitely McCoy. Really fantastic voice. Really very intelligent guy. Works as a chief engineer on a container ship. Well, container ships. May we know what is the next job for Vince crew chief? It isn't confidential, of course. Gabor. Maybe because it wasn't clear if it was actually going ahead because they'd left it to the very last minute. Lighting on in Singapore. That's all I'll say. But he's straight off. I mean, he was gone the next day. He supposedly flying, but his flight got cancelled at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he got the train. Had to book the train. Did he get any sleep at all? Probably slept on the train. What is the next lighting gig Clive will do? Not sure. First engineer McCoy, indeed. Tim did suggest that I joined him in Dubai or the Emirates or something like that, doing just a huge job. I'm not going to talk about that. It's Tim's business. But a lighting job, like, I was like, oh my God, he's got so much and he's got balls versus me. I just wouldn't have the courage to take on a job like that. Tim and Vince, the crew chief, are just on a different level. They're just because they've been in the industry and given lots of responsibility from a young age, they are just comfortable with doing massive jobs. Ah, hmm. Not something with gantries. Well, you never know. Horovac, I'm a car geek and wanted a BMW once, but today's BMWs are shit and mostly driven by wankers. I'll stay with Italian French cars. Our Italian, we were having a discussion about Italian lights. Uh, was it on Eurovision that Vince got a load of Italian lights in, hung the first one, the whole case just basically distorted, and then he just had them all ripped out back out and sent them back uh, because they weren't fit for purpose. Be careful being gay in Dubai. That's just me, Horovac. Goodbye, Dubai. Yes, my washing machine backed up after only 14 years use. Change the brush and it's all good again. This is good, Tom, right? Also, sometimes good to clean the commutator, but that's okay. You've changed them, it's fine. Captain of boarding, first engineer, chief engineer. I don't think I'd have the balls to be chief engineer, rifleman, but definitely an engineer in the ship would be my choice. Just lots of variety. Chop chop square Christmas lights. Not George Square Christmas lights. Don't do that anymore. It's a very dull installation done by a street light company now. Hmm. Can't believe I've just had to say, come on, Clive is on the TV to get the cat in. She happily watches the Thursday streams. That's nice, Mrs. Cam. Greetings, Kitty. Oh, while we're here, make sure that you've got the little live indicators on, just in case things go out of sync. How many are here anyway? Um, 91 watching now. That's quite quiet. That's good. Makes it very personal. Everybody's got used to the fact that I'm not here anymore. Ah. But both Tim and Vince are paid handsomely for their skills, and to be honest, they're well worth the money in terms of what they do and the amount they achieve. It's quite impressive watching them do what they do. On this job, they're already planning for the next job. They're doing all the paperwork on the computers when we've got quiet times. Craig says, I just worked on a PSU, only blew the RCD once, forgot the quick test, only breaks line, and the iron tip was earth. Oh, did your quick test know that a quick test should break? Well, the Cliff quick test breaks both live and neutral. Hmm. All modern cars like that now, so much sensitive electronics, got to be careful about spikes, green shots, so much stuff in cars these days. Ridiculous. Woofles tonight? Maybe there'll be a woofle. Hold on. It is about woofle time, isn't it? Let's have a wee mini woofle. Where's it? I've got my favourite one here. Puress. Still got a collection of my allergen reduced Ambipure. You're not getting too many woofles though, because it's hot. Oh. They're not even, that's not like even. That's not even proper woofles, is it? They're very blue. Well, they are to me. Maybe they're not blue to you. Not blue to you. Neutral to earth, I mean. The chipmunk. Yeah, bridging neutral to earth. The Cliff Quick test breaks both live and neutral. Oh, I thought, but mine is sold as only single pole. Ah, right. Lightning here trips at RCDs. It does so, Nuts Proud, at Ralph's place as well. If there's a lightning strike, it will often cause the RCD to trip. Ground-borne voltage gradient. Aha. Ah. Oh, Chipmunk has accidentally timed somebody out. It's what happens is as you're hovering over the, if you're doing something, if you're just basically, if someone is being doing something else and you go to adjust it or just you slip, you can actually highlight, just as the comments go up, you can highlight the wrong person. It's very easy done. It's no malice. Where's Mouse these days? Mouse is busy enough, I think. Can I? Hold on. So I don't think I can untime that. Hold on. Nope. Hold on. Let me just check. No, I can't do that. It's all right. You'll be back in a moment. It's very easy done. So Graham, just hold in there. You'll be back soon. Ah. Is Mouse on Etsy? Yes. Flashy things on Etsy. I shall go off and eat worms. Don't worry about Chipmunk. I've done things like this myself before. It's very easy to do because you've got tiny little dots and they're moving all the time. It's almost like a video game. Talking of which, I saw a video about Sega's biggest selling game was designed to be just not used. It was to get round a tax regulation where if they supplied cabinets, just what they call JAMA cabinets, Japanese Amusement Machines Manufacturer Association, that just took standard boards. You plug the board in, that did all the power. It had the power supply inside, speaker, joysticks, monitor, and the top flash. And you could just plug a board in, and it meant you could swap boards between machines. But to be able to sell the case for that, it had to be shipped with the game for legal reasons, for tax reasons. So they put a tiny wee minimalist circuit board together, and it was a really basic Pac-Man type game that was designed just to be basically pull the card out, chuck it in the bin, and just pop in the real game. Ah. Susan and I have a mini supercomputer each, want a tree and a star, and to get it from the right place. That's reasonable enough, Chazman. I should have my supercomputer on here, shouldn't I? Where is it? Oh, all this stuff. All this stuff is in boxes still. Because, basically speaking, I have to streamline all my stuff for shipping back. No Liz today. Liz has probably given up. She wasn't getting any woofles. Liz will be back when there are woofles. Hold on. Can I even find my supercomputer, or is it buried in amongst stuff? It's probably buried in amongst stuff. Yeah, I'll have to find the supercomputer. It's not immediately coming to the surface. Clive, are you ever going back? Where? An NICE, I know what I'll do for penance, an NICE EIC certificate, yeah. The fabricated, yeah, let's not go there. I presume they all have BMWs at the NICE EIC, and Teslas obviously, because, well, there's lots of money rolling about in that company. That's what happens when marketing companies present themselves as official organizations. Ah. Graham Shaw, well, that was weird. Felt like BC had gaff taken me out just for buying a BMW. Didn't buy a BMW. I'm going to block you. No, it was just... This is why we need software to fill in the NICE EIC forms automatically, just like they do in the vans anyway. What's your favourite thing about working with the two? Just the people I work with, to be honest. I get on really well with them. We have a good time. It's enjoyable. Very tasteless conversations at times. Funny. I just received a big order from Mouse today, Scruff Dog says. That's good. That road mic counts as supercomputer, I guess. Yeah, it's just static illumination. If it starts flashing, it's bad news. It means it's lost communication, which doesn't happen. Oh, Raspberry Pis are back in, Diffmull says. They're available at Pimaroni now. Ah. Chris says, good Clive has access to a good tea atmosphere and fulfillment in that respect. It is good. It's also quite a fulfilling job. I've done it so long now that I feel comfortable working on it as well. That really helps. You know what you're going into, which is good. And we kind of help design the stands, so that's even better. It goes in it's very straightforward. The accommodation was quite nice, even if a bit cramped. And it was a modernish but older. It's a nice location. It's like miles. It's like a long way from the job. It's a big, long walk. I don't know. I can't look at it right now because the phone is actually doing the internet connection at the moment. But big, huge, long walk every day. But it's a little place of its own almost. It's like it's got walkways down between what they call weeping silver birch trees, which just look really attractive with LED floodlights from above, not really intentionally lighting them, but light them anyway. Very attractive. Your streams need more lighting effects. They could have more lighting effects, but I've not got much to sort out at the moment. I'll tell you what though, and it's pissing me off just a little bit. I bought something today. Something I'd been looking for. Where is it? What have I done with it? Have I lost it? There it is. I got one of the little 12 volt LED flashlights and then went to find a battery to put in it. No battery. Now, is Ferex, is that Lidl or Aldi? Ferex. Can't remember if this is Lidl or Aldi. Trees are lights them like God intended, absolutely. Grimshaw, you got 2 BMWs. You're hoarding BMWs. Aldi. Oh, right. And that's why I went, yay. No. It doesn't fit because they're all keyed so they can't go in each other's products. How very, very annoying. Ah, that is annoying. And the plart is correct. They're in the right location, but that little lip there is on the wrong side for that. Otherwise, it would fit and it would work. Wankers! That's called protection rackets. I've got one in I've got one Nelaman. I'll take it back to Nelaman. It's not that big and heavy. I'll maybe post it back to myself because that saves, carrying stuff in the luggage. Because, well, we don't want to do that, do we? The less luggage, the better. Travel light. No power over DMX, as far as I know. There is no power over DMX, although some people have used the second pair that's included in the 5-pin DMX standard for 24 volts and blown up a lot of equipment. Same with the 20-volt batteries too. It is. It's annoying. You'd think that's the European Union could say standardising batteries between manufacturers, particularly generic brands like Aldi and Lidl. Oh, Diff Mull just took the words right out of my mouth. Is the EU going to try and standardise power tool batteries in the same way they're saying that you have to be able to change the phone battery in your phone easily? And have you seen the one recently on Jerry Rig Everything and how easy it was to just whip the back off the phone like they used to and take the battery out? Everything was changeable. In fact, even your USB charge port was just a couple of screws and a little, as he calls it, a little Lego cable. Change your USB connector and pop the lid back on. Really nice. Everything could be changing it. The Fairphone looked great, Andy Racked. Looked very down to earth, not super duper cheap, but it's going to last you a long time. Also, big win, you drop your phone in the water, right? It's not waterproof, but most phones that claim to be waterproof aren't necessarily. They might have a hydrophobic coating. But what you can do with that Fairphone is you can pelt the back off and you can whip the battery out, and that stops electrolytic corrosion occurring, because that's what happens with the sealed-in batteries. Phones are designed to fail. That new phone isn't available in the US. Not yet, Chris Munsey. It is good to be back, Lee Goodare. It's not necessarily IP rated. That might be that it's designed to repel some level of moisture. Keep in mind that IP rating has many, many levels, including just chunky grit and just preventing finger ingress. My bro renewed the USB charge PCB in his BlackBerry recently. The thing, I'm not sure how it would have come apart, but certainly that Fairphone, it just unclipped and screws. Very straightforward. Even changing the screen, you just get the whole front of the phone and you just put the new screen in and a number of screws at the back, and that's you basically a complete new screen. Everything was well designed. Some are saying that the batteries in the film industry were all standardized because all the equipment cost 10,000 up and all the manufacturers make their money up front. Chris Wenham. It makes sense to have standardized batteries. You can get all these features but through the power bank to them. That is true, Christian, but you don't require hot melt heating and peeling things apart with that phone. And Graham Shaw, the EU is, in the same way the EU originally standardized the US micro USB connector over all the different versions that different phone manufacturers had, and then USB-C, and it's telling Apple they have to do USB-C, so Apple has obviously found ways around that. But they are also trying to make the batteries changeable. They're trying to make things serviceable. And Europe has the power to do that. Yeah, they'll find ways, Christian. If the battery's not the original one, they'll slow it down. I remember getting my phone stolen after being beaten up in Glasgow. Lovely. And when they sent me the replacement out, they sent it out with a pre-aged battery so that it wouldn't last, so I wasn't getting a complete new, refreshed phone. Are you sure the BBC haven't raided your home while you were in Edinburgh? Maybe they have, Giraj. They'd find lots of content for the BBC. Hot melt can make recycling easily. They just stick it in the oven. That would be reasonable enough. Random. That would also make all the components fall off. BBC is worth supporting, despite its underfunded Tory destruction path it's on. Well, my faith in the BBC took a real hit when they were very anti-Scottish independence. They were clearly playing the cards. So as long as they remain the mouthpiece of the English government, I'm not going to really give them any credibility. That was a political statement and a mini rant. I'd love to see iPhones and iPads switch to USB-C connectors, but I just bought an InfraRay with a lightning connector, so I'm conflicted. That is tricky, Chris Wenham. Enjoy your InfraRay. The science documentary David Attenborough bit is worth funding. Certain bits are very good with the BBC. Other bits are, yeah. They stuck being the mouthpiece since it's where they get funding. Indeed, Christian Howard, that is true. The BBC is a lot of very talented producers and technicians and content makers with a very, very poor little rich kid inbred management. You might think BBC, that'll be lucrative to work for. They didn't pay that well, to be honest. They never do. Your reward is being able to work for the BBC. Hurrah! No. Rather have money, thank you very much. Used to be in the lighting department in BBC Pacific Key. Lightning connector is one thing Apple got 100% right. Praise where praise is due. Kind of it was the precursor of USB-C, wasn't it, in a way, the chipmunk? BBC was good to work for until they started contracting everything out. To a degree, they still employ a lot directly, certainly in Scotland. But it is, everybody's freelance. That's just how the entertainment industry works. Just reading stuff here. Anyway, I'm going to go and get myself some gin. 1 minute, please. You can come with me just because, you know, you can all hear me anyway, can't you? I'll go through and grab one of these small whiskey glasses and I shall... Oh, crikey, I've just remembered that I put my tonic water in the freezer section. Oh, it's fine, it survived. I'll get some ice though. Ice would be quite nice. Oh, actually, do I even have any tonic? Bear with me 1 moment. Here's a little ice. There's the first cube dropped in the sink. There's one dropped in the glass where it was originally supposed to be. Put that back in the fridge. And let's grab a random colorant. What do I have in here? Oh, there, I do have gin. Here's my glass with ice. Here's the random... Oh, crikey, that's just popped apart. That's not supposed to happen. Squirty drink, which the lid's just popped off. That's not great. I'll just pop that back on before it just basically goes everywhere. How did I do that? That's very impressive. Is that a heat change or something that it's actually blown its lid off? Lovely. That's that super concentrated squirty flavouring. You didn't flush, I didn't go to the toilet. And yes, it's calibrated. Oh, calibration riles me. I think it's good that things are calibrated, but not as regular as they've been calibrated because it turned into another thing that keeps office workers occupied. Rant, rant, rant. Gin. A half of gin because I'm not going to drink too much. I got things to do. I've got videos to make. videos that have been made, not even released on Patreon yet, I think, but I might re-record them because they were kind of half-assed. Because I was trying to hurry things before actually packing things and coming back from Edinburgh. Juggling two jobs is quite tricky at times. This was about my 1980s PAT test. It was still fine after 35 years. When I paid to have the cow checked, it was absolutely fine. As it would be. You really have to damage things to make them not work. Dave Ward, I want to update my cancer journey. 8 months in, all 3 of the tumours are shrinking. The brain one is down by 60%. Fuck cancer. Well, that's good. That is a very good result. I hope it does continue. Meterhouse pumping bog tanks at Glasgow. BBC guy waived half what they agreed. My buddy told his mate, put it on blow, and he pretty swiftly changed his tune, coughed up the agreed amount. Yes. Electron Box says, talking calibration, I'm selling calibration test cards on the Bay for anyone interested. They are blue if you find the listing. Well, that's useful. You can just test your equipment yourself. Of course, they have the calibration number that is back traceable usually, isn't it? But do they ever do it? I mean, Tim does all the electrical testing on the T2, and he fills in lots. He's got his laptop and puts all the data in for every single circuit in the T2. But is anyone ever going to read it? It's a box-ticking exercise. The main thing is he gets paid for doing it, but nobody will ever look at the paperwork unless an accident occurs, which it shouldn't, because our electrical distribution system is very, very safe. It's all RCBOs, double pole RCBOs in every single circuit. Echo, sorry to hear your grandmother was diagnosed with cancer today. It's very common. I do think they're getting nearer and nearer to a magic pill that will affect some cancers, but not all so far. But you know, the research is going on in the background. They're making huge leaps and bounds in that research. I think it's only a matter of time till we have the miracle pill. The whole point of the paperwork is to point the finger at you. That's all it's designed for. It's not for any reason. It's not for safety. It's just blame appointment, blame delegation, or whatever the word is that I'm looking for. The economics of cancer industry too profitable. I'm pretty sure these pills will be very expensive. They'll keep making their money. I don't think it's as bad as that. I'm starting to see the PLB days now. Sometimes it might seem like it's never going to end. Raven Looney, indeed. My oncologist told me that he and I would have had a completely different convo just 5 years. Absolutely. So many different types of cancer, hard to pin one specific one down. DCL. That's why they're taking a scattergun approach. They're taking a wide-angle approach to common things that stop it replicating or actually identify it, so that, you know, your immune system can actually find specifically cancer cells and then target them. Because the best defense system is what's inside you already. Keep in mind, I've got a strong feeling that cancer is aggravated greatly by stress. So don't get stressed. Learn to have disrespect for authority and not take life too seriously. Mark Strangle, that's a terrible thing to say. I hope we never get such a pill. The Earth already is a huge overpopulation problem. As long as the good people are saved, the technical people, the useful people. Horovac, different types of cancer are, well, all too different to be cured with one pill. The one that is being currently tested at the moment covers a wide range. It's actually quite surprising what it covers. Some of those common ones. The research is interesting. There's an event locally. Attitude, attitude, attitude. Defeat that. I try not to get too stressed out. I think I do okay. I don't give a shit anymore. That's why. It's something you should do as well, just not give a shit anymore. It took me a long time to get here, but you look back and realize that we were just used, and the people who were presenting themselves as people of authority were just fucking just people dressed in business suits and uniforms, and they've got no authority whatsoever. Even if it means downsizing your life and not aiming for too high a thing. Enjoy your life. Don't spend it serving other people. Yeah, William Hadda. Other diseases are caused by stress. It's just a common thing. I see people in business jobs with completely made up fake business jobs getting all stressed, bright red, panicking, flustering. And it's like, why? It's just that what you're doing is just so fake. What about all the videos you deleted, Pete Webb? The videos I deleted were simply because there was a risk of them being used by narcissists. All the NBC videos got taken down at the request of June because he said he was going through a problem with local residents of looking to have a go at the commissioners. And there's someone in Ramsey is just basically they only appear in the streams to complain about them and say they're unbefitting of a commissioner. And unfortunately, they can cause problems. But not to worry. It is because of Karens and narcissists, but that's fine. It'd be great, though, if cancer were to turn into a harmless illness. I think the future holds that. You know, it's not that long ago. It's only 100 years ago that quack medical treatments were the standard. Things have come on a long, long way. Jim was never anything less than kind in those streams. He was scathingly sarcastic in those streams, as usual, and outspoken, but that's fine. I do think that that day is soon approaching. Christian Howard, I don't think we are going to see more illness other than what's caused by stress. Kitty status, the kitties will be fine. They usually are. But usually what happens is I get back there and little Hutchie will stroll over and it's like, as if I hadn't ever been away, it's like, just stroll in and say, got any cookies? That's what Hutchie does there. Cats are so mercenary. Yeah, drink this mercury, it'll fix all your ills. Not that long ago, DC Allen, I had my tonsils out. They used to just take things out of kids. Me and Ralph had our tonsils removed. Did you have any pets as a kid? Cats, yeah. A few cats. The worst thing about having a pet is they don't last that long, do they? 10 years or so, it's not great. And you get so attached to them. Rocco Rizzo, cancer can be rendered cured. We have to worry about viruses. Well, again, I was thinking that today, how the whole virus detection analysis industry took a huge step forward with COVID because there was suddenly financial incentive to do so. And those little strips, those test strips that do that instant test literally in minutes that can identify specific antibodies, that's pretty fucking clever. And yeah, that lady in America who ended up in prison for her little chip that you put a drop of blood on that would analyze it for loads of different things and it was just not feasible. That will be feasible one day. Do you want us to ban the Karns if they turn up? You could do that. Theranos, I think that's what it was. There's music on next door. Wonder what it is. There's a big stadium next door that's used for football and used for music. But there are always new things to be discovered. No banning Karen, she's my friend. Not that type of Karen, though. Elizabeth Holmes. Ah, yes, Horvath, that's the one. A businesswoman, not a scientist, I don't think. Not like me, Dr. Clive. Maybe. But you know what? Have you ever seen Mike's Electric Stuff's tear down to the blood analysis thing? That you take a little vial of blood, a little sample of blood, and you put it in, and everything was just taking that, pulling that blood from that one little pocket of blood all through the test. They were all being conducted right next to it. Very clever. Have you seen the cheap electronic tat in Temu, John Starling? I've not fallen into the... I've not bought anything from Temu yet, but I do fancy buying some of their shite just to test it. Dave Ward, what you need for your rash is my magic pyramidian hyper resonator that will actually just hold it near it, and all the energy, the life energy, will cure it. I won't be treating this steer because that relies human contact. I can send you one of the devices for it at great expense. Raven Lunade, but basically just a vibrator marked up in price. It'll probably be a Poundland vibrator, but it'll be single use because I'll glue it shut, and it will be very expensive. Is Temu bad? Temu, I've looked at bits of Temu, but yeah. It could be a rich seam of shite. I didn't use Wish because Wish wouldn't let you look at the website without giving them your email address, and I just wasn't going to do that, so I never used Wish. Temu, shop like a billionaire. How about shop like an arsehole? But anyway, let's see what other stuff I bought today. What did I buy today? Oh, I'll show you what I bought today. It's quite nice. It was from Aldi. I think it's quite attractive. Hold on, let me just click the button. I'm going to have to hold the solar panel in, and it's basically, it's filament, LED filament lamps, in red, blue, green, pink, and warm white, with a little solar panel. Less than £10 for 10 lamps and a little solar panel, which is the one that's got the solar strips laid into plastic and covered in resin, which always delaminates. It's not great, but you know what? I quite like it for the string of lights. They are pretty colours. There's tons of pink stuff. Well, that's John Starling. That is, you know, inspirational. I have seen their, get this washing machine, pop-up washing machine for only £1 or something like that. And you're thinking, no, I don't think so. Now, this is odd. This is... what was I looking at there? What was I looking at there? Oh, yes, this is odd. LED tea lights, and I thought they'll contain CR2032, but it says the battery it uses is... I got a magnifying glass here. That's how old I am. I need magnifying glasses. I can't see my magnifying glass. There it is. So this is from Poundland. It's their Halloween stuff, which is in now. Yay! Requires one CR927 battery. CR927, what is that? I thought it was going to be LR44. Now, hold on. Is it going to be a horrible bright yellow Flickering LED. On. Yes. Yes, it's going to be horrible, bright yellow flickering LED. Not to worry. What about the little battery compartment? Is it? Oh, it's screwed shut. To protect the wee babies. Baby gonna need the battery. Hold on, let me take out the baby safe screw. That just encourages the wee babies to use screwdrivers. This is good. Ah! Shit. Oh, I see what they mean. It's a little lithium. Yeah. Big, huge space for a CR2032. What they actually put inside is, it really is what they said. It is a lithium cell that is 9 millimeters diameter. Hold on, let me see what that was. I didn't even know they did these. 2.7 millimeters thick and 9 millimeters diameter. Cheapskates. That is just the lowest class ever. 927s are uber cheap as why? My watch takes a 927 battery, hearing aid battery. Oh dear. Greetings, Mouse. We were talking about you earlier on. You're far-sighted, right? I think it's short-sighted. I like the CR2450, yeah, almost an inch in diameter by 5 millimeters thick. Heck with a Husky, that's pretty good. It's big. It was Gossip. We're talking about your stuff you sell on Etsy. Look, Mouse, look, it's a little solar, not solar, it's a little lithium-powered candlelight from Poundland. But instead of the 2032 cell, it's this tiny little thing. It's a little lithium cell, 9 millimeters diameter. It's like microscopic. What a pile of shit. That's what it is. Not to worry. It is what it is. A pile of shit. Yeah, they've over-cheapened there. Way too cheap. Not to worry, it's what they've done. Just wire it to the mains, we could. We could make it neon. But then again, what do you expect? They're 4 for £1, 25 pence each. Oh, do you know what this is? This is titanium grit. Do you know why I've got a big bag of titanium grit? Well, it's not that big a bag, but it's big enough. This is what was used at the end of the show, at the tattoo. I'm not sure why they used these machines. They could have used gerbs, whatever you call them. They found, in fact, with a sustained thing. What's the capacity? Not really sure what the capacity of those is. But at the end of the show, they have these sparkler things. They're the ones that put out like a continuous stream of sparks that you can actually put your hand in. It's quite cold sparks. They're not that cold. But that is literally, it's a powder reservoir and an auger driving it in through a heated chamber and then blowing it out through a heater so to actually self-ignites on the way out, and it creates a big stream of continuous sparks. I was hoping to see inside one, but one of them did not break down, therefore I didn't get to see what was inside. They'd been rented in. Wait in, buy another house. Is that expensive? It's about £20 for 200 grams or something. It's not that expensive. It's just a very common titanium grit. Is just commonly used as a pyro compound. I was looking up neon before. Good job I couldn't find my wallet. Indeed, lots of desirable things. I will be setting fire to it. You could have helped it to break down Ravenlooney. It was a different department, although I would have been called upon to have a look at it if it had broken down. I am the fixer of things. Megavolt Maestro is a cool technique for a spark generator. It is indeed. You just pour a bottle of the powder in and that's it. You just basically, as a preheat and then on demand, You just send the sparks out and it just shoots them up. Isn't your flat the third floor? Not really, Dave Ward. There's nobody above me. I am on the top floor. As is the flat we choose when we're working in Edinburgh, because it's top floor means nobody above you. It's better that way. Noise. Hold the stream, got a pish. Horvath, enjoy your pish. Yes. So I'll be meeting the MBC when I get back for a beer. Not seen them in a while. Well, I saw June because he came over to the show. I could substitute dry coffee creamer for the meta powder. You could indeed, Megavolt Meister. I don't know if that would clog up, but yeah, dairy creamer produces this sort of fiery stuff. That's it. Iron filings might work as well. Was that the stuff that's humidity sensitive? Yes, it can clump, Kevin Hardesty. No moving furniture about at 2 a.m. Electron Box except me. How about Ralphie? What about Ralphie? Busy with dead people. He is always busy with dead people. Ekoloski, tinnitus is getting loud. Can't really hear noises. Really? Is it that loud? Oh, IKEA's a new PM2.5 detector LCD screen diff mall. That's just going to disappoint people when they move about in their house and it just goes off the scale. That's just to sell their HEPA filters. See me here, Echo, that's my brain gate's going out and I lose sleep. Have you tried masking it with background noise to a degree? Because there is that thing that at night time, your tinnitus, you get that slight whistle happens at night because your hearing is going up to maximum sensitivity. If you have a noise generator, even just a fan next to you, it can actually mask that noise and keep your hearing from going too sensitive. It's your automatic gain control going out of control. White noise should help, says Dave Ward. Pink noise even better, it's just that bit warmer. Pink and brown noise, my favourite. Not sure about the brown, Chazman. It makes me think of the brown note. You don't want to do that in your bed. Ah. So anything else? Yes, things. Let me pour another refreshment. See if I can not squirt this stuff everywhere. I quite like adding this concentrated one tiny squirt makes a big glass of fruity drink. It's very good with gin and tonic. It gives it strong theming. I was trying to find locally the blue raspberry slush puppy one. I couldn't find it. The Lidl in Edinburgh had it, but not the local Lidl. I couldn't find it anywhere. Maybe they had it and I just didn't search far enough. I just couldn't find it. Has anyone else found the Ghost Repair low-level lights help with the hypnic jerk? All right, I'm not sure about that, Craig Matthews, but having said that, I've not had that jerk effect, the sudden drop that you get at night, the sudden feel that you've just stepped off a curb. I used to listen to internet radio in bed, but Pure shut down the service. Use YouTube. Do you know what I used to help me get to sleep? Solitaire, to the point my brain has now got used to the fact that when I play solitaire, it's usually on the phone, it's usually time to go to sleep. Is the local Lidl a string of corner shops? The local one to me here is down Victoria Road. It's a freestanding shop. Also, listening to BC will knock me out quickly. It knocks a lot of people out. People sleep well when they listen to my videos because they're so boring. Horrivac, tinnitus makes your noise makes your tinnitus worse. That's odd. Oh, I get it every night. Since using that, I've never had it happen. That's interesting, Craig. Nope, they're comforting. I heard this. People use my videos to not just help them sleep, but some put it on because it puts their baby to sleep as well. The baby will probably come and kill me in the future. It will hunt down the voice. So what else? What else have I got here? Let me think. Let me think. There is a twist on the two color. You know the chasing Fairlights, which is actually just two channels alternately wired LEDs on two wires. They're now using that as a feature where you have the string of lights and you've got the choice of warm white or cold white or both. So they're just using that polarity swapping thing. What's it powered by? Probably, oh, it's 3 AA batteries included. Let's open it up and try it then. Let's get this open. Big box. Is it going to be a big stack of lights inside? Ooh. The batteries in lots of paperwork. The batteries in a separate little bag. A little paper bag. Aww. Please note, batteries are inside this bag. Please recycle bag responsibly. Right. What's with the little paper bag? Alkaline. Brown noise is basically pink noise, rain on a thicker roof subjectively. Ah, just a drumming in the background. Oh, so this is just marked. White, warm white, and mix are the 3 menu options. Okay, let's plug it in. Quite stout wire. With a little waterproof cover button. Cold white. Warm white. Alternating backwards and forwards between the two of them. It's not just one colour, it's alternating between cold and warm white. I thought it might just have been both. And then off. Oh, that's right. So cold, warm, or alternating between them. And it's not alternate LEDs. It's 2 LEDs in the one cover here. That's unusual. And it's not just copper wire. It's insulated with plastic. That's unusual. And it looks like it's been stripped and then it's had the surface mount LED soldered onto it before being dipped in resin. Well, that's going to be interesting. H-bridge polarity. H-bridge, yeah. Oh, talking of which, I got from Aldi, while I was in Edinburgh, I only brought one back. I actually cut the thing up. Hold on, I'll just put this back in its box, if I can find its box. There's its box. At the Aldi in Edinburgh, I bought solar pebbles that you could select the colour on. Have I got one here? Yes, here it is. Solar panel and 4 pebbles. Inside, hold on, let me show you, because it's remote control. Lights up white. Hold on, I'll have to put that down like that. But you can choose other colours. Or have it fading through colours and or jumping through colours. Or by repeatedly pressing reset, you can crash it, apparently. Oh, it's not crashed this time. That's nice. But or you can turn it off. Now, I wondered how I'd done it. There were 3 wires. It's basically it's an addressable red, green, blue, white LED that's inside it. And it makes me wonder, because they're all just wired linked together in line. It makes me wonder if it was originally intended to be able to chase colours along them. And how many will it drive when you change the colour? Although they don't, you can't choose to have it different colours in each pebble. They all go the same colour. But how many of the LEDs will it address in a line? I'll maybe get some tape and connect it to and see what it does. Does it remember the last setting? No. When it goes off in daylight and then goes back on again at night, it goes back to white. But it's fine. It works. And it pops open like that to reveal a little diffuser inside. And there's the wire that I just chopped off because I didn't want to bring the whole lot home. So instead, I took the little circuit boards out there and left the pebbles. Put the pebbles into the plastic recycling. Klaus should take a trip to the factory in China. Strange enough, Christian, Vince the crew chief was saying we should go to China. We should go to Shenzhen because he's been there before. Ah. Is it just me or is warm white getting more orange? There are golden white chipmunk, which is getting more orange. Mine was caused by being 6'5" tall at punk rock gigs, nothing between my ears and the speakers, and unlike everyone else who had everyone else between them and the speakers. That is not that great, Frost Giant. There are disadvantages to being tall. Are the white chips in RGBW package 6500K or can you get them with warm white or even both? The LED tape we used in the 2 was red, green, blue and warm white. It was probably close to about 3500K. But you can usually choose that. You can even get red, green, blue, warm white, cold white for choosing the colour temperature. Get lots. And red, green, blue, amber. Vince could act as your tour guide, yes. That would give you a big advantage, absolutely. He'd also know places that you can stay. Are they bipolar LEDs? They're not. They are just basically, it's an addressable LED. It's like a WS2812B, except it's got the white as well. Do I have those circuit boards? They must be somewhere. Yeah, I've got a bag of stuff. Bag of stuff like this. Is this where it is? No, it's not in there either. Nope. Don't know where it is. It's in amongst all the shit I brought back. China is quite large, it is, but Shenzhen is just a part of China. China has just enacted some very draconian anti-espionage laws, and a lot of the foreigners getting arrested. Beware of the risk. Okay, D-Lock 2K, well, they'd be screwed if they didn't have foreigners, because it's kind of like dumb that they're anti-espionage, because a lot of the people they employ to do their design are foreigners. I'd like to see Vince on the screen sometimes, but I suspect he's bald, has a scar, and carries a white cat, and has a bucket chair in it. No, he's not, Chipmunk. You will see Vince in due course. I could post a video of Vince. Have you ever heard of Vince Vaughn? That's what he looks like. I got some Neopixels that were WWW, all just white. I've come across those too, for brighter white. I know that Naomi might be going through a bit of a rough time with the authorities. I'm not really sure. Does Vince have a good screen presence, well spoken? You may have heard Vince. He's very well spoken. You may have heard him on the doing the one moment, please. And he was filming the eating of the first and part of the second Chinese meal, this sort of self-heating one. The last bit was Steve that filmed it. Is Vince the self-eating meal vid? He's not visible. He's holding the camera, Craig. But I do have a video showing Vince as we're packing the truck up, coming down and then holding his hand over the camera. What other one is it in? Oh yeah, I've not released that bit yet. I filmed loads of sections of me walking around the castle, but they're a bit shaky. If you don't mind the shake, uh, I can release those, but I don't know whether to release them as individual bits or just splice them all together. I thought Vince was the Tower of Jaffa Cakes video. He is Megavolt Meister. That is Vince. I have some WS2811 chips to make two things, addressable tungsten lamps and addressable IR LEDs to cause CCTV chaos. I'm not sure that would work too well because you'd have to put out the high-speed data of modulated infrared. The castle basement was cool, it was. It was very cool, as in temperature, and not as bad as it used to be. It used to be very damp and unpleasant. I hope you ask Vince first. No, it'll be fine. You can hear him though, can't you? Or is that someone else? You can hear others in the video. You can process out shakiness. You can diff mal, but I may just put it up as it is. Not really sure. I don't really have much in the way of facilities. My doc gave another page, good and bad news. Bad news, he had Parkinson's disease. Good news, he would shake it off. Yes. Feels like somewhere you should take Ralphie. I could use it as a morgue. I was trying to remember, Chipmunk says earlier while in bed, WS2812s, do they just take the first packet of data and then forward the rest onto the rest of the chain, etc.? Yep. Each LED, the first one in line, receives its data on the input, and only once it's received 3 bytes, or in the case of RGB white, 4, and then it just holds at that and transfers the data back out to the next chip, which then takes the next 4 bytes, 3 or 4 bytes, and then the next one. And then it's when there's a slight delay in the data, then they all put it out to the output. That's why they sometimes glitch and put it out prematurely. The basic is my favorite thing. Love that abandoned big industrial kit. Yeah. I've never actually, you know what I didn't look at while I was under there? I didn't look up the way. I should have while I was exploring that, because there are voids that go upwards as well as down. Oh, a slight delay. Yeah, that's what does it. Yeah. Which is a snag, because if your processor stops to actually do something halfway through sending the data out, it'll just go, they'll go blip, and they'll put that data out halfway along it. And they're very demanding in the speed they require the data put out at. The bipolar LED needs some lithium. What? Oh, the lithium is a treatment. Aesthetic. Yeah. The view along the parapet was great. Oh, the gantry? Or not sure. The parapet? Not sure. Is there anything better than WLED at the moment? Not sure. There are other LEDs, APA 102. Which have clock and data, which means you've got much more processing time, because they won't just bang it out. You have to actually do something specific to make them put it out. Not sure what it is, but as it is, the clock and data, you can actually send it out in bursts, and the thing can process in between sending it. D-Lock 2K, do you want some whiffles? Parapet, a low protective wall along the edge of a roof, bridge, or balcony. Indeed, there are lots of them. Not many castle gantries, they don't. Let's have a mini whiffle. Not too much of a whiffle. Let's try this other aroma. See if we're expert in another one. This is a cotton, apparently. Is it going to be more yellower? Because the last one was disappointingly blue. Oh, this is more yellow. That's better. have lots of pyro. This year we had some really interesting liquid propane firing cannons, which were produced really big fireballs. We use them in, well, you'll see it, electropipes. I found a dental x-ray machine in the basement of still a dentist. It looked like something Frankenstein the old ones did. The bluish one probably was mostly butane propane propellant. Has this thing got even aroma left in it? It's still relatively full. It doesn't actually. There's not much smell. I think it's actually either separated or... Oh, that is just basically just propellant. It's almost like the aroma has escaped. That's disappointing. That'll be why it was doing that. Strange. Yeah. Don't touch old medical equipment, that's how a small town gets irradiated. That's a reference to someone picking up the big chunk of radioactive material, which was interesting because the weird sparks it produced and the fact it glowed. It was very radioactive. Ended up in a scrapyard place and basically contaminated everybody who wanted a wee bit of the fancy metal. It was like that episode on the of Star Trek that I saw little snippets of. Not seen the whole episode. Saw snippets of it on YouTube, where Data is has been reset and is living in a vintage times and works out that the people are suffering some sort of radiation poisoning. Yeah, the old stuff is a bit freaky. It's not that old either. I went down to the hotel to look at my new car before the stream started. By the time I got there, it was too dark, really. But Acris, the GPS is quite scary. Link to within a foot, it's very good. I remember at X-ray machine, the Clark's shoe shops, they used to, indeed, they used to show you an X-ray of your foot. I never saw that machine, I don't think. But I did put my feet in the Clarkson foot gauge as a kid, and I hated it because I thought it was going to crush my feet down to a given size. Basically speaking, you put your foot into this machine, and the side plates come in, and then the end plates come in. They just touch. It must have been micro switch or something, but they just touch the end of your feet, and then it displays on a projector beam comes up onto the faceplate. And it has sliding scales to actually show you what size your foot is. I watched Scum Guy's video about old medical equipment ending up killing folks in a small town. Indeed, that sounds like the radioactive one. That was a big lump of radioactive material for cancer treatment when they just beamed people with radiation. Fanplan has made it. That's proud. I had an X-ray last Thursday for coccyx pain. Got told it's arthritis. Aha. So you're not going to tell us your shoe size. It is size UK 15, American 16. The Monk, I used the X-ray thing a few times. It's a special treat when we visited a family friend who had a show shop. Ah. Cobalt 6, I think it was. What about this foot X-ray device where people could look down into it? Yes. It probably gave the people who worked in the shop significant doses. Clark's Commandos. Yeah, I had a pair of those, Chaz, man. I got the one with the magnet. You had a choice of a magnet or a compass. I think it was a magnet I got. Can't remember. But in reality, you took it out and then there was a big recess below your heel, which gave you blisters. Lovely. I had a coat one of those Clarks once. My feet are fooked but more Manx. Manx? You got 3 feet. Technically a fluoroscope, yeah. My mum got fast neutron therapy, 9 feet of concrete walls, indeed fan plant. Things are more refined, they still do it. But I think part of the idea is that when you target it, the cancer, and it kills it off, then your body can then actually react. It can actually, it keeps on battling the cancer because it can actually identify it now. It triggers it. It's complex. By far the best thing to do for curing cancer is just basically saying to the body, here it is, go get, because it's all built in. Just Google it's bloody propane, no wonder it's marked flammable explosive. Sounds like refrigeration. When Clive put his foot in the Clark's machine, it said, one at a time, please. Indeed, Jerry VR. My mum's dad hated kids. Well, hated young boys is a more accurate, because he apparently liked my cousin, who was a girl. Um, and he gave her lots of misinformation, and she idolized him. And one of them was that the shoes should be really tight fitting, and your feet are growing at that point. I ended up with a lot of blisters and foot damage at that point in time. Ah. I work for AutoZone as manager. The DIY refill kit is under 49. Oh, you're talking about refrigerant. Yeah. You can just use, you could get isobutane and isopropane, is it? Which are particularly refined versions of, but some people do just use standard refill, gas refill. It's not recommended in an expensive system. But you do get, you can buy all the bits you need to refill your vehicle refrigeration on eBay, including the test gauges, optimized for vehicle refrigeration, and the adapters for screwing on the and filling. Are you glad to be back in Glasgow? Yes, Harris, for a while. Yep. I'll wander around the city centre, find stuff. Do you keep in touch with your cousin? Yes, from time to time, although she's getting quite old now. She was older than me. Yeah. Yeah. Craig Matthews, look online on YouTube for refrigerator exploding. Because the gas does leak, it reaches the critical pressure, the thermostat clicks, and then whole fridges explode. It makes me think, is that what happened with the Grenfell Tower? It's, it's a safe eco-refrigerant. Do you know what I saw today? I saw a fridge that had the compressor removed, lying on a grassy embankment, and it had yellow tape around it saying, environmental violation. It's like, which is the violation here? Because there's no gas left in it, if that's what you're worried about. It's quite annoying that someone dumped it there, but why the fuck would someone just wrap yellow tape around it? I suppose it makes them feel empowered. But they obviously, fuck knows. R134 was extremely poor at carrying lubricant, which is its advantages as well. That was because the body inside it, maybe it was. Have you seen the cladding fires in China recently? I've not, Electron Box. But it wouldn't surprise me. Everywhere is going backwards. It's going back to the Victorian era everywhere. Money, money, money. Are you anxious to go home to Isle of Man or your junk? Yes, to a degree, yes. But I'm happy here. I've got junk here. I've got junk everywhere. So this stream will end in 25 minutes. Just so you know, I'll give you plenty of advance notice. It's a 2-hour stream. Yeah, I bet they go with the bang, they do. ULEZ is certainly going backwards, Electron Box. That's just basically banning poor people from driving the city centre. It's really idiotic. Yeah, there was I saw a picture recently and it said, what was it? It was a fruit or something, product of Argentina, shipped Thailand to be packed and then shipped to America. And it says, and apparently my car's the problem because it shows the route that it was taken on boat. My van works at the Les, but I had to wreck the old one and get in debt to get it. Yeah, this is the problem, Chipmunk. The Blade Runners are doing a fine job. No, we need Blade Runners. I'm going to get more ice. That's okay. You can follow me. You can follow me. Now, what else have I got here? What else have I got? Nothing really amazingly outstanding that's worth talking about here right now. I shall find stuff, though. Some Poundland stuff, but nothing terribly exciting yet. But their Halloween stock is now coming in. So that should be quite good. So it'll be interesting to see what they get. I could show you the bone conduction headphones that some of the belt packs that were being used at work, rather than having earpieces going in, had bone conduction headphones that, basically speaking, they sit around like headphones, but they don't go in your ears. They just touch the base, and they were good quality ones, and it was very impressive. It was very comfortable to wear, and you could hear clearly. Not really suitable for music, but you could hear clearly what other people were saying during the run of the show, the sort of technical crew. But I bought a set, a really cheap set off eBay that cost something like £5, and you're thinking they are not going to be good, and they worked. But although it said bone conduction listing, it said sound conduction on the packaging. Got them here. Sound conduction earphone. And what it actually means is it looks like the bone conduction ones, except there's a little port and it just shoots the sound out. It's just like a standard audio transducer. It's rubbish. But we all had a good laugh with them. We connected, they did connect to the belt packs. And you could actually also use a microphone, which sounded very dank and muffled. But they provided amusement. We had a new guy on the comms this year. Different sound crew, just one of the original crew back. Very different sounding. The guy who was actually doing the desk, it's very geeky. Very geeky indeed, Toby. Should top this up. Quite a lot of the people there knew about my channel. Some were quite surprised that BigClive.com was working the same job as they were. It seems they seem to think that all I do is have a YouTube channel. Talking of which, it's just rolled 992,000 subscribers. Can we be refunding all the fines next? Yes, there probably will be litigation, Electron Box. Can was thinking about only one thing himself. He said, let's clear the road so I can drive straight to the job. What brand model wireless mic are you using? It's Rode. Rode Go. The million subscriber stream, Electron Box. I've not even planned for that, and I completely missed the 100,000. I completely missed the 500,000. I'll probably miss the million as well, because let's face it, I'm not very organised, am I? Maybe I'll make something. I should do it soon, shouldn't I? Because it'll creep up quite quickly. This says 30.8k in this one. It is, yeah, it's quite low, 30.8k, because I don't advertise this channel. I don't want too many people finding it because it's very different from the main channel. How's that other guy in Isle of Man doing the subscriber count? Don't know. Hold on. Let me just double check. Let's go to YouTube here and look at Manx Ninja Pig and see how many he's up to now. Young June. It's ridiculous. Manx Ninja Pig. How many has he got? Manx Ninja Pig, 1.6 million subscribers. It suddenly jumped from 1 million up to 1.6 million. Is it just staying there now? It is. What was that? So how come he not get suddenly 0.6 million subscribers, and it doesn't really move again. What caused that? It was really fast, his growth, really ridiculous. He's doing well. It's popular because it's gaming. EVblog 916K at the moment. You know what? Both me and Dave have similar styles of channels in the sense for technical content. We're never going to be huge, but 1 million is surprising for both me and Dave. I wonder if as soon as he hit 1 million, all the advertisers were interested. That was the magic figure. They say, oh, right, let's push our adverts on this guy. And then suddenly YouTube's going, oh, everybody look at this guy's videos because he's really advertiser rich. You could subscribe right now. David's too squeaky. David has squeaky voice, Rifleman, but his voice has an advantage over mine. It's more compatible with smaller speakers versus mine, which doesn't sound that great in many mobile devices because it's too bassy. Ultra bass, ultra hyper bass. Dolby still occasionally detects my voice as sub bass and puts it out to a middle speaker, and people say, I can't hear anything in your videos. The reason is because they've got their system set up as if there's a middle speaker, and Dolby has put it out to the middle speaker, and there isn't a middle speaker, so there's no voice. David Glover, A-OK. A bit late, but checking from California. Ah, why are you in California? Are you always in California? Not really sure. I can't subscribe right now, says Harvag. Oh. Chazman, you're funny a role model for me. I no diddly squat about schematics. Well, just keep watching and you soon will, because it'll all gradually fall into place like a jigsaw. Oh, I'm in California because I live here. That's logical. I thought you were somewhere else, said Clive, blowing a booger. Put your voice through an octave dropper effect. Both me and Dave could do that. Dave could make his voice deeper and I could make mine more high-pitched. I could put on my Karen voice. Hello, it's Karen here. Let's take a look at this schematic. That's quite hard. Abrit, Big Clive wallpaper would get me a sale, as would asbestos removal. What? It's like chess, a big jump from what the pieces do individually to what they can do together. Absolutely, but things fall into place like a jigsaw. The helium stream, I could do it in helium and then pass out in the middle of it. Been studying schematics for years, still clues compared to Clive. No, it'll all fall into place, Graham. That's fine. This may be rude, but that sounded like Fran. Hello, Fran. Here again. As if it's like some bad thing. Cheer up, Fran. Just be nice and jolly. Smile for a while and let's be jolly. Love shouldn't be so melancholy. Life shouldn't be so melancholy. Do times while we can. That's Dolly Parton, wasn't it? I beg your pardon. I didn't promise you a rose garden. Fran is very angry and ranty, not so proud. Fran does do a lot of frants. Depeche Mode. Did they cover it? I'm not really sure. No chance the copyright strike AI recognised that, mate. None at all, Chazman. Any advice on how to make your voice not sound weird in video? Every time I speak a video and play it back, it sounds bad. Craig Matthews, yes, I have. Ignore it. That's when I start making videos, that's what I thought as well. Nobody hears your voice the same way you do. It always sounds bad to you. Nobody else hears it that way. You're the only one who hears it that way. Just ignore it. Just put your videos out. Don't let that put you off. I think that puts a lot of people off. Some people put up silent videos that are just tinkering without actually talking. That's important to talk. So don't get put off by it. It's your voice. That's what it sounds like. I hate my voice so much. Don't, Raven Looney. Nobody hears it the way you do. You just have strained different expectations. It always sounds disappointing when you hear it. But as I've made the videos, I knew this before I started because of connections with the entertainment industry, that people hate their own voice. Um, so I just thought, oh, well, that's exactly what it feels like. And I put the videos out. And as time has gone on, I now recognize my voice as being the voice of BigClev.com. Sounds different to me in my head. Sounds deeper, richer, bassier if it could. My actual voice is dull, says Electron Box. Is it really? You don't really know that. My Dorset accent is off the charts in recording, Chasman. Some people like that. They like the exotic accents. Still no idea about the wig, Chris Munsey says. Wig. I sound like a wanker on a tape. Everybody does, Horrorvac. Don't stop it. Don't let it stop you making videos. Don't be your own worst critic. Do you sound like a pirate? Beware me hearties, there be stormy seas ahead. How many moving heads was it at 2? Oh God, Rob, how many moving heads were it at 2? Too many. I didn't count them. There were lots. 2 truckfuls. Plus. There were lots. Don't know. It was the most lights we've ever had on the job. It was also some of the heaviest lights we've had on the job. I don't recommend Domino's unless you absolutely have to have waterproof lights. They are super heavy. They make a non-waterproof version. I hope they get those next year. The bass is conducted. That's what you hear a lot of bass in your head when you speak. And it's missing. It sounds tinny and hollow when you hear back your voice. If you're talking about the people in attendance, that's 8,500 heads a night. Or double that, 17,000 on a Saturday. My birthday is September 19th. Talk like a pirate day. Avast me hearties. Beware the sirens. The Tattoos on BBC on Monday. I don't watch the BBC. Steve. Me, the part that colonized it. What? But anyway, yeah, the lights, number of lights on the tattoo was ridiculous. Also, keep in mind we had loads of we had the moving X bars, which aren't fully moving heads, but we also had the Mac Auras. I should have made the video about the Mac Auras. I didn't make the video about the Mac Auras and the annoying test feature that they'll knock out white from the test if you've got the if you've not got raw color set. If you get compensated color, it knocks white out. My voice is okayish, but my Essex accent, I wouldn't have thought that Frost Giant, that you even had an Essex accent. I thought you were from Norway or something like that, or Finland, being a Frost Giant. How many megawatts and generators? Chasman, I think it was half megawatt, but it was the backup to our 1 megawatt substation. But to be honest, the power is coming down dramatically over time. It used to be really high. So we'll be on iPlayer now. It should, Steve Perry. You'll get the 1 hour remix, which removes the acts that didn't perhaps come across too well on TV, but they'll be in the DVD. Is that footage in the BBC from the Thursday press night, the first night? It is not, Graham Shaw. After the show is established, after it's run, they'll come in and they'll prepare And about a week later, they'll film it. Usually, round about on the Saturday, they'll film it, I think, and then they start stripping stuff out over Sunday. The LED lights must cut the electric bill lots. I think the biggest part of our electric bill is the fact we own a fucking substation, quite frankly. It's a very expensive job. The Glasgow Carnival floats won't be the same without the warmth of the bulbs, Chasman. It has gone very flickery and LED-ish if you look at the carnivals. The Somerset carnivals, the carnival clubs, just fantastic. Just look up a carnival club uh, on YouTube and look at the quality of what they call them carts. They don't call them floats. They call them carts. And you've got the Ramblers, you've got the Gremlins, the carnival clubs, and their stuff. They're better than Disney. More dangerous than Disney too. Lots of moving parts, lots of exposed electrical connections. Not much earthing. They don't think they need to earth it because it's a freestanding object and therefore doesn't need earth. I don't think that's true. A massive three-phase generator um, and multiple sections all linked. I'm not sure the electrics are 100% up to spec. How do they meter the 11 kV or 33 kV feed current transformers? I don't think they meter the 11 kV side. I think they only meter the secondary side, the 24014, 2415. Blackpool are going towards LED illumination trams. They've been doing that for a while, DCL. I was talking to the Blackpool tram people a while ago about a controller. Quite tricky at the time because they were tungsten at that time and it was complicated by the high DC voltage, the sort of 500, 600 volts. But yeah, the illuminations, it's going to save a lot. It drastically cut the power consumption of George Square when we switched to LED. Good evening, Clive. Love to see you. Just got home. Love Craig and Nat. Indeed. Panther. Electrobox. Who remembers a kid going to a light shop summer's day and the whole lot was lit with tungsten? The heat was just stifling. Yes. How much power did that take? There's probably part of the shop heating. Refman, my name's because my entire family bleeds olive drab green. Is it very military? How's the substation dealt with when the tattoo is not on? Is the ring main completed but the local breaker off? I think the transformer stays active. Not sure. There is a possibility they may end up using it out of season for electric vehicle charging. It's been talked about because it's a lot of power capability and there is parking available on the Esplanade. During the times that our system's not there. Let's talk about the lifts, the elevators on the two. So one of them is a Bocker sight lift. It's a rack and pinion climbing lift, self-climbing lift with the two motors that will climb up and down. That's the one we use for all our flight cases. Very good. Even though it's had problems. Hold on, I'm just going to But I got that the high HV side stays energized. I think it does, which seems quite wishy. I think they may actually turn it off. Lifts are cool, they are cool. So we've got the old one and it's given problems. It'll randomly log up and say it's lost a heartbeat signal, which is just a communication. It just checks in every so often. Or it's always very glitchy. They finally seem to have solved it. Only broke down a few times and turning it off and on again just resets the error counter and then it starts again. Nothing really major, not a mechanical problem. But the hydraulic one is a hydraulic rope lift that they got last year, and I don't think it worked a single day last year without breaking down. And I thought, thank goodness they'll have that fixed now. This whole year, this whole tattoo, it broke down every single day, more than once. It was so unreliable. unbelievably unreliable to the point the manufacturer is now coming over with a load of specialists to try and change the software and analyze what's wrong. I think it's the load wear is giving problems. Not really sure. Not sure what's happening there. The software is shit. Fan plant, is that like our USA construction hoists? It is a construction lift. The Beno Electron box, he does so much dangerous and stupid stuff. That is not what you should be doing to lifts, not surfing them, or better still, some of the things he does, he'll open the panels and he'll just change parameters in the lift randomly. And he go, oh, what does this do? And it's just got the keypad, he's going, look at that. Look, it's not working now. And it's like, that is one of the worst problems to fix. If someone has gone in and randomly changed parameters, I think the police have been involved a few times in his videos, but he still puts them up. Bit of an asshole, really. At times, you shouldn't really put stuff like that up. You're encouraging people to play on lifts excessively, and the risk of someone getting smashed by a counterweight is quite high. Beno is an arsonist vandal. Steve Perry's not a savoury YouTube channel. That's us advertising it significantly. We actually is a sub-secret place. Never noticed a Whack and Great Transformer. It's well hidden. It's built into the castle. The castle is not all vintage. I'm not going to tell you too much about that. I came across a seller of lift control panels on the bay, and where you get Chinese copies of everything. I think Beno should really have got a job as a lift engineer when he was young, so he could play in them all day long. It's not like he's technically incompetent. It's just he's a bit inappropriate at times. Beno throws stuffs down the lift shafts. Yeah. He does dick stuff. Not to worry. So the stream will be ending in 5 minutes. He sounds angry to me. He's a bit angry. Oh, bugs are coming in because they're being attracted to the light. I shall just close the window over a wee bit up here. Excuse me, groin shot. That'll do it. Maybe he was hard and got fired. I don't think so. Oh, the little tiny flies are coming. This is where I need a little insect zapper. You have a window open, it's cold. It's not cold, Electron box. I never get cold. Take off your shirt. No. That's pervy, and we know what happens. Actually, I think I know what happened. I know why, hopefully not midges. Midges are no-see-ums, the little bitey, tiny things. I think I know what actually happened. The internet, you have to send it your phone number, and then it sends back a text message just to make sure they can identify who's using it. So you're like, don't send death threats to government individuals, things like that. And it just kicks you off after like 72 hours, is it? Or is it something less than that? But you have to keep signing in. And it's not like if you're streaming and it hits that time, then it just basically just drops your connection. You have to sign in again. I think that's what might have happened. I have a screen over opening window, so no midges at night. Yeah, that'd be quite useful. Is that why my phone won't work? What? Oh, and also, the internet kept going down, and it went down, and when I first moved in, it was really slow connection, so I went up and I unplugged the power over Ethernet connection and plugged it back in again. It took a while, but it finally connected again. Tim independently did the same later on, and he unplugged it, left it some time to basically, you better leave things for like 5 or 10 minutes sometimes just to reset completely. Forgot to plug it in again. Oh, this is already glitching. It's back again. Oh no, it's glitching again. Oh, the internet is slowing down. Am I still going out? It is glitching on and off. Oh, it's doing it repeatedly. Maybe it's just as well. It says it's live again. I think my data may have suddenly slowed down. But so he unplugged it and then forgot to plug it in again. And the IT department let themselves into his flat and didn't lock the door behind them. And they also came into ours, didn't lock the door behind them. Oh. And then they blamed him for all the internet going down the neighborhood, the whole area. I'm not sure that's how it works. But anyway, it's glitching on and off, and I don't know why it's glitching on and off. Yeah, mention connectivity and it started to glitch. That's fine. It is back, but the stream is about to end. I'll give it 3 minutes. I'll make it end on a nice round figure. 10 minutes past, wherever you are. Ah. Oh, another thing. The washing machines in the laundry, you use an app and you scan the QR code that's on an LCD screen on the machine, and then it sends it and it enables the machine that sends it back by internet connection. And then the machine, when you say use machine, it goes beep, 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 and it changes color. And then you can start the machine. Occasionally it just dropped it, it lost all the machines, and you couldn't use the laundry equipment at all. Hit the unfair usage policy, Clav. Not really sure. I don't really use massive amounts of data. But we'll see, because it is theoretically. Maybe the stadium is emptying for a gig. That's possible, actually. Although it's gone quiet now. But I don't see the usual traffic. I think they may have been testing stuff. I like the washing machines. Big industrial washing machines. And they were secure, couldn't open them and bypass anything. But anyway, I will be back on Saturday, which is not that far away. And maybe we should do a meetup in Glasgow. Maybe I'll actually advertise it better this time. But I don't think I can do it at the weekend because the weekend, the pubs are just too busy. Last time we did it, it was crowded beyond the realm of belief. We couldn't even find a table in it. May do it evening of a weekday. But we'll see what happens. I'm not sure how many would want to attend. After work, maybe 6 o'clock onwards. Not really sure. In Glasgow city centre? Not really sure. I'll work it out. Maybe a sound check for an event this weekend. It does possibly sound like that, Steven Seagal. I wonder what's on. I wonder what's happening. I hope it's a big concert because then I can go and collect all the vapes afterwards. But anyway, the stream will shortly be coming to an end, and I will be back on Saturday. But now, so many things to do, so maybe a bit of sleep as well. Things to reverse engineer. I've got one last photograph. Not the pornographic one, obviously. I've got one last photograph of a thing. It's an MR16 lamp, because I had the printer at the T2, and I've got this photo to do. I'll try and draw the schematic correctly this time. I just kept screwing that up. I was tired. Now I'm not tired. I'll be able to draw it better. That's not Kevin. It's probably what Kevin looks like at work. But anyway, the stream is now coming to an end. So until Saturday, I shall see you then. Take care and have fun.